What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Ones Only, where we take your favorite movies and break them down all the way down.
All the way down. I am Joel Brown. I am the co-host of Real Ones Only, and I'm representing my alma mater, South Carolina State. We won the protest. Just want to let y'all boys know out there. When you mess with the bow, you get the dog. That's all I gotta say.
No, don't say that.
Don't say that.
Boo,
No,
boo.
man. Look, man. Nobody cares about John C. Smith. Okay, no one cares about that. All right,
Uh,
Johnson C.
and,
Smith.
yeah, the best album, the best school in the land. Do, 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 do. Yeah. But so man, my name is Kenyatta Mitchell, the host of Real Ones Only. And right now we are going to be talking about a certified hood classic. Certified hood classic, a movie that really don't even have a plot.
I know, right?
uh, it's just sitting on the porch, but somehow got everything going on. And today we're going to be talking about Friday. Friday.
And let me tell you something, Ken. Look. This is one of those movies that you might automatically lose your black card or gain it, right?
Hmm.
So if you haven't seen Friday, man, that's like 10 points off of the black card. You have to see Friday and like The Color Purple. Like those things is like I haven't seen Friday yet. Look. Here, you can lose 10 points. You probably will lose 10 more points if you say, "Well, I saw next Friday and Friday after next." Nah, you got to
That don't
see
count. That
that
don't
don't
count
count.
at all. That don't count at all. That don't count at all. So basically, this movie, was created in 1995 by F.
Mm.
Gary Gray.
Hmm.
This guy was started off as a music producer because he did the Ring Ding Dong,
That was
yeah.
Drake. Oh, he directed that.
He directed a
I didn't know
video.
that. That's cool.
Yeah, but he was a music video. He's directing music videos in the beginning,
Okay,
and then he started doing actual movies, and this is one of his movies.
that's cool.
Yeah,
And though he directed it, Ice Cube and DJ Pooh. You know him, I think, as Red, right?
that's Red.
Red, yeah. And that's important because it's very authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I mentioned to Ken, like, when we were planning on doing this movie is that like like at the time, a lot of hood movies came, before that, like Menace to
Mm-hmm.
Society, Boys in the Hood, Juice, South Central, all these hood movies, right? And so it gave the hood a bad look, right? And
Right.
so Ice Cube literally he's like, look, I want to make Friday on purpose because I want to show people that the hood is more than just shooting and gangs, but there were times when there were times when we had amazing time, great fun
Mm-hmm.
in the neighborhood. It's not always bad. There are times when we had fun.
Right. And all that happens by sitting on the porch. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So this movie was budgeted for like 3.5 million, but it made like 28
Mm.
million. So that's
Wow.
a win. That's a real big win.
Yes, big
And
win.
at that time, nobody really believed in the movie. Nobody was trying to pick the movie up. And then
Mm.
finally somebody picked it, which is New Line Cinema.
Blue Line Cinema. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ken, man, look, man, you got an all-star cast,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course you got your boy Ice Cube, O'Shea Jackson. What was his parents thinking? No. So you got your boy Ice Cube, you got Chris Tucker. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, we all know him as Smokey. Of course, Nia Long again. She was in
Leave it
Soul.
alone.
Nia Long as
Mm-hmm.
Debbie, Tiny Lister, and we all know him as Debo. Some
Debo.
some of
Nope.
y'all probably didn't even know his real name. Y'all just know Debo,
Correct. Just know
right?
him as Debo. That's all we
But
know him as Debo.
and he's the late Tiny Lister,
Yes.
um, and the late John Witherspoon, the legend.
Hmm.
Of course, Craig's father, Mr. Jones, Regina King, of course. an amazing actress, and then you got Anna Marie Horsford. How you say her last name?
Yep. Yep. That's
Horsford
it.
as Miss Jones,
Yep.
Craig's mother, John Witherspoon's wife. Yeah, Ken. What do you think about this cast, man?
Man, it was a legendary cast. Like
Yeah.
you got those hitters in there to make this movie what it is now. It's a cult classic.
Yes.
So man,
Yes.
it's just been crazy. So what I'll say is the
Mm-hmm.
reason why this was a cult classic is because we were going to high school.
Mm-hmm.
The things that we would say
Yes.
came from this movie.
Yes.
Bye Felicia. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
A lot of people don't know where that's from.
Correct.
Uh-oh.
You got knocked the out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just crazy. It's been crazy
Or the
because we
dang.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Like so basically they created memes before memes were even created.
yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, I mean, every other voice that every other thing that we said in high school, every other thing was has something to do with Friday. Everything. Everything. I'll never forget I made my brother mad. I was teasing him and he said, "Be quiet, I cut you and hand him to your partner." I'm like, why does he keep saying that? Where's that from? I was getting upset, and it came from Friday. Like, I mean,
Friday.
so and guess what? We still talk about it today.
Today.
And look, let me say this,
Today.
Ken. We'll go on. Let me say this.
Hmm.
Look. I know a lot of you guys saw The Dark Knight, right? A lot of us saw The Dark Knight with the Joker, right? I mean,
Hmm.
amazing movie. Came out like 30 years after Friday, and
Hmm.
the part in the with the boat and the with the criminals. And who has a cameo? Tiny
Debo.
Lester. Everybody in the audience, what Debo doing there? He's not Debo anymore. That's sad. Everybody, and guess what? Every time people saw that movie, The Dark Knight, everybody I knew was like, "Y'all saw Debo? Y'all saw Debo? Where was Debo? That was That brother, you know what? He'll always be Debo.
He will always be Debo.
Even in heaven. I'm sure because he was a believer, I am sure God is calling him Debo.
If God is calling him Debo, man, it's a great honor to be called Debo all the way
Yes,
through.
yes, you're right. anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I
Go ahead,
understand. I
Ken.
understand. So basically, it's they'll like Craig and Smokey. They're like relatable characters in life. You know, like you
yes,
say, high school, even through college, you would meet that Craig or you would meet that Smokey, and you can see him out here busting out that flannel,
the
trying to
Debo
represent.
shirt.
You know what I'm saying? The Devo shirt. Boom, dum, 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 dum. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand. So I had to make sure I
Friday.
pulled the shirt out to kind of relate. So what we gonna talk about today? We already know the synopsis of the movie. Two dudes sitting on a porch
Chilling.
all Friday and
Yes,
just getting into some stuff, basically.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody should know. We don't need to do no synopsis on this movie. We should
and,
not do
and
no synopsis on the movie.
and if you don't know the movie, we'll give you a QR code where you can turn in your black card. Sorry, it'll be there. If I don't get, we'll find you. We'll find you. Anyway, go ahead,
Mhm.
Ken.
All right, so we're gonna talk about some myths in this
Okay.
movie. There's a lot of myths going on in this movie. So the first thing we want to know is
Mhm.
the box situation.
Yes.
How come Craig got fired, right? We always see him saying, "Man, I was supposed to." No, let me go back. Smokey saying, "Hey, man, I thought you were supposed to be at work today.
Right.
I got fired. How you get fired on your day off?" Man, I'm gonna go pick up my check. Got there, pick up my check, left. They coming back at 4 o'clock. Time you need to come back. He goes
Mm-hmm.
back. They said we got you on tape stealing boxes, and you already
Boxes.
know the funny
Yes.
line. You already know the funny line.
What you
You know
doing
what I'm
steal
saying?
boxes for?
Oh, you trying to build a
The
clubhouse?
clubhouse,
Fuck.
boy.
What you trying to build a clubhouse? Man, I know you ain't go out like that.
Hell no. They ain't got me on tape. She said they did. Fired me on the spot.
Clubhouse,
You know what I'm
boy.
saying? So it's just to a point like we know
Yes,
the movie backwards and forwards, but
of course.
we never knew who stole the
The
boxes. Because
boxes.
Craig is like, I didn't steal the boxes, but they said they got me on tape and I lost my job. So one of the theories out there, and it's
Mm-hmm.
in the movie as well. Um, yeah, they got the director's cut, and they also have other versions where
Of
you
course.
don't see like the full
Yes.
part because they edit certain scenes out of the movie. So there's a beginning part where you see Ezel running down the street, and what does he have in his hand? 2 big
Boxes.
old boxes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now everybody's like, could Ezel have stole the boxes? I think he stole them boxes
Okay.
because I mean, although it seemed like it was the same day that they were getting up, it looks like he probably stole those boxes. He was trying to sell them to somebody else. You see what I'm saying? It's Ezel was a
He was trying
hustler.
to build his clubhouse.
Yeah, he was trying to build his clubhouse, but he was more of a hustler in a way of trying to steal.
Yes.
What he say? He said, "I steal, I don't kill." So you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we always knew that. So I was wondering, what's your thoughts on that when
Man,
you first
Ken,
saw it?
okay. I'll never forget, a long time ago, me and you had this conversation, and you thought it
Hmm.
was Red. Right? I'll never forget, you said, I think it was Red, but we don't, it's most likely not Red, of course.
Right.
And here's the thing, there's a cut scene or a scene that they took out where
Hmm.
after Craig fights Debo, the job calls him back and, they want him to come back. I think the understanding is that they made a mistake, right?
Right.
But but I don't know. I think at the beginning you see him guys running with two boxes. It
Hmm.
must have been Ezel carrying the boxes away, right? So, and here's the thing, and even Red said it. They kept rewinding it, and he said it didn't look like your head.
Man, so what? I saw the tape. We kept rewinding it. Kind of looked like your head, but you can't really tell from the back.
Right? So we believe most likely that it wasn't Craig.
It wasn't
And here's the
Craig.
thing: why would Craig have to lie? Why, if you steal boxes, you're going in to get your check? Like he really, his character doesn't look like the character that would steal boxes.
Steel boxes. Like who really trying to make a clubhouse? You
Yeah,
know what
and
I'm
and,
saying? Like
and, and you know
seriously.
what? We'll kind of talk about that. I mean, he's still young, but I don't think that was him. I really
Hmm.
think from this thing that you showed me, Ken, at the beginning, Izell was running with boxes. Most likely it was him who snuck in when Craig tried to go to work or something. We don't know, but we know that it wasn't him.
It wasn't
I don't
him.
believe it was him at all. It's some other brother, maybe Ezell.
You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. So another thing we want to talk about, man,
Yes.
is like the check situation.
Yes.
The check situation has always been like a mind-boggling thing, right? So throughout the movie they need $200 to pay Red back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you got 100, you sold 20 to Hector, so that
Mm-hmm.
gives you 120. So basically
Yes.
all you need is 80 more dollars.
80 more dollars. That's
Right?
it.
Right?
Yes.
So now, same day, Craig went to go get his check on his day off, which would have been Thursday, right?
Yes.
He goes
Yes.
on and he
Thursday.
says he gets his check.
Mm-hmm.
He says he gets his check. He comes back home, 4 o'clock. What they do? They call me and say, come on back. They fire you. So you still have the check. That would have been your last check.
Yes. Yes.
So now
And
you're trying to tell me you ain't had $80 to spare?
and would Craig have been the one who would have taken his money to the bank or go to a checking cash place and get it cash? He's like
Mm,
21 years old. He's not old
right.
to know him. He might not have a bank account. He might just go get it cash at a checking cash place.
Right, 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 right.
So you raise a good point. Now, here's another theory. He spent this money in that gun. Remember
I
the
didn't think
gun?
about that.
Remember the gun? Y'all guys who've seen it, remember he says, when Smokey comes in, tears up his curtain, stood in my curtain, right? And he pulls up the gun and he says, "What you get?" It's believed that maybe he might have bought that with the money.
Mm, that's a good point too. He probably
Now,
did got the check, bought the gun. He ain't had no money after
probably,
that.
probably had no money after that. I
So let
mean,
me so let me ask you
okay.
this question. So let me ask you this question, right? If you know you need the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why not just sell the gun?
That's true. Why not sell the gun? Why
Like,
not? And look, you would have to sell it for full price. Sell it for just 80.
or you could have sell it for $120. You would
That
have
is so
had the 80.
true.
You'd have had the 80, then you
That's
have
so
40
true.
left over just in case something happens.
That is so true. Why not just sell the gun?
They could have been done with that a long time ago. They could have sold the gun, got the 80, that would have given the 200. Bang. He could have gave Red, I mean, he could have gave Big Worm the money. It'd have been done for the rest of the day.
They
You
could
know what
have.
I'm saying?
I don't know if they would have gotten in trouble by taking it to a pawn shop, but somebody would have bought it off of them.
somebody would have bought it off of him. Unless the gun was, had bodies on it or whatever. But other than that, yeah, why not sell the gun? The gun
That
would have
is
got
so
them
true.
the gun.
There was so many ways they could have got 80. Like, okay, and he could have, and his girlfriend said it needed about $200, which they only
Yes.
needed 80.
Right.
And his girlfriend got mad because Felicia got in the way. Fine. If you were able to calm her down before, you can calm her down
Coming
again.
down
Say,
now.
look, this is what's going on with me. And here's the thing about it, Ken. No one gave him $80. He was gonna die.
Like Smokey got into a big worm today. We owe him $200. He said if we don't pay him, he gonna kill us. So you gonna loan me the money or not?
Not.
Like no one wanted to give him $80. His
And that's
mama,
what made me
his
so mad
daddy.
about the movie because it was like, even when they were like, trying to sit down and find a way to, maneuver if no Big Worm comes, whatever. Remember, there was in things like, I'm gonna give you the gun, but I'm gonna go down to my mama house
Yeah.
and I'll let you wait. You know what
And
I'm
this is the part you
saying?
see what happened.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So it's like they were planning, but why not just basically say, let me sell the gun. I'm calling Big Worm. Hey, Big Worm, I got your money. Let's go ahead and meet up. Give Big Worm the money. You good to go. You see what I'm saying?
That's so true.
But he never.
That
And
is
then another thing too is like you said, nobody had $80. Even when they were in the house trying to figure out a plan to devise on how to avoid Big Worm, he
Mhm.
asked his mama and he asked his sister, right?
Yes.
And everybody was like thinking he was joking. Like, no, he's like telling the sister, "Yo, man, we got into a Big Worm
Worm.
today.
Gonna
They
come
say
here
we
and
need him
kill us.
$200 or he gonna kill us. You let me hold it?" She laughing. Now I'm
Nah,
like,
your brother would have been dead in the street and you would have been guilty. It's just
mm.
wow.
Yeah. That right there was funny. That right there caught my button.
That's what gets it. It's like $80. That's
$80.
all he needed. I mean, I am sure there are many other people. And okay, here's another thing, Ken.
Hmm.
Smokey wasn't trying to sell it. He was smoking it.
He was
So okay, so here's the issue. He said, "Worm, brothers are broke these days." No, they're not. You're not selling it, right?
hmm
You're smoking it.
You're
So what
smoking
this
it.
tells me? You could have actually sold it. You could have went to a couple of people and sold that.
And
You could
remember
have.
the part when they went to the house? He said, "You need to cook, clean, or do something." Ha ha ha! Yes, it did. Like
Yeah.
all that stuff, right? So it's like they go in the room. The first thing he do, light up, rolls the paper. He said, "This I'm tripping off. How you gonna sell, bud, if you
Yes.
smoking it?"
Yes.
He said, "I don't know.
Yes.
Big Worm will end up messing you up, man. Big Worm ain't
Worm
gonna
would
do
do a
goddamn
thing.
anything, man.
He didn't believe it.
He need me. Okay. Need you to sell a $200 worth of weed? Come on now.
Yeah.
Seriously? Come on now." So that's what I was like, it's just the fact that he didn't he didn't care. He
Yeah.
was
No,
like,
he
as
didn't
long
think
as he
about that.
got
Yeah.
high, he was
Yes.
fine. He was good to go.
He was an addict, man.
He was
Why they call him
big
Smokey?
addict. Just a terrible nickname. Just a terrible nickname.
Terrible
Just a
nickname.
terrible nickname. Oh my gosh. All right. So let me ask you this one, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
One of our main questions we like to ask.
Yeah.
So who was the villain to you in this movie? Was Debo the
Okay.
villain? Or do you
So
feel like somebody else was the villain?
look, this is a different kind of villain from my other movies.
Okay.
Okay. Let me explain something, right? Ice Cube was trying to make a point in his movies that they had fun and enjoyed the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't see much crap except between Smokey and Debo. Now, if you even look at the movie, Ken, kids are outside playing around all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kids on the
Megan
bike,
Good.
making
Megan
good.
Good.
I mean, it. Everybody in the neighborhood knew everybody. It was a calm block. Now, I lived in Baltimore for 7 years. There
Mm-hmm.
were areas that were a calm block, and there were some areas that weren't calm. See, here's
Mm.
the misconception of the hood that is all bad. No, you got a bad person, and sometimes a person can be a bad people. Okay, so you can have a
Mm.
group of people fit out of 2,000 people, you could have 50 people who are bad and make the neighborhood look bad. Okay,
Right.
so
Right.
his
Right.
block was good. Matter of fact, John Witherspoon told, no, I'm John Witherspoon, Mr. Jones told Craig that I didn't think you would need a gun. I wouldn't have moved into this neighborhood if you needed a gun to
You need a
walk down the
gun.
street. Now, where did
Hmm.
he? And then he said, "You know what it is around here." No, that's not the problem. The problem isn't the neighbor. The problem is you guys. It's individuals, right? Okay. So let me get to my point. My point is that Debo and Smokey were kind of a force of nature.
Okay.
Okay. They are what makes the neighborhood bad. Okay.
Mm.
Now, it makes them sort of villains in their own right. Why were they sort of villains? And some of it was circumstantial, right?
Hmm.
Because Smokey didn't have his father, right?
Right.
Craig had his father, and that says a lot about what he's trying
Hmm.
to say about the hood. There were mothers and fathers in the hood working 9 to 5, loving their kids, loving their, and even his sister Debbie, she was going to school, all that stuff,
Right.
right? But excuse me, Smokey didn't have that, right? So part of it was circumstantial. He couldn't control it. But what was Smokey's problem? Selling weed.
Mhm.
That
And
hurt the
smoking
neighborhood.
it.
And
And smoking
smoking
it.
it.
And smoking
That
it.
hurts the neighborhood. That
Hmm.
makes you a villain. And it might make you low-key toxic. Because what you did was you created a scenario where multiple people will be killed because you're irresponsible.
Right. So it
And
was
he said
almost
it. And look. He said it. They weren't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do a thing. He it was irresponsible. And then Craig said, okay, Red told me you shot a dude for $50. I don't give a he didn't care. Like you said, Ken, irresponsible, right?
irresponsible.
Craig, Smokey was redeemable. He goes to rehab, right?
Hmm.
Somebody in the hood is getting better. That's now Debo is another force of nature. Debo is worse than Craig because Debo holds the neighborhood down. No one
Yeah.
is free. No one enjoys himself. Like the neighborhood isn't celebrating when Smokey went to rehab. Everybody's celebrating when Debo got his butt whipped.
And got put
Everybody
in
is
jail.
free. We're free from Debo. And see, Debo is another person in the neighborhood that makes the neighborhood look bad. You're
Hmm.
holding us back. You're the reason why we can't just be on the stoop and chill, but you want to walk by and steal people chains and all that, right? It's like, and guess what? Debo's not redeemable. He needs to go to jail.
And another funny thing about it too, looking back at it now, he said when he was like Stanley said, he said, "Man, how much money y'all got? I got about $200." We said, "We know we got about $200.
I
I got about $200. $200."
absolutely.
He said, "Huh?" And then you notice what he said? He won't try that stuff with them dudes around the corner. So see, that's the thing.
Yes.
He knew who to mess with and who not to mess with. So he
Yes.
stayed in his neighborhood to do
Yes.
all that foolishness.
Yes. Because they
So
knew the brothers
yeah,
on the neighborhood would have put him 6 feet under.
correct, correct.
He would have
That's
been dead, Bo. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, it's true. You made a point, Ken, because there are certain areas where there are bad
Hmm.
people and bad. So I think those two were sort of a force of nature. I don't
Hmm.
think Smokey is trying to be a villain or trying to prove a point like
Hmm.
other villains. Um, but I think he's just being an irresponsible young man.
Right. I can feel you on that. I can feel you on that. All right, and to go back to the myths, I
Okay.
meant to talk
Yes.
about this. All right, so when Bernie Mac's character comes up,
Yes. There we go.
now this is another thing we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
When Bernie Mac character come up, so
He's the preacher.
he's a preacher. Now, what they're saying, a lot of things online is saying is that Craig mom was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be there waiting for the pastor, basically
Mm-hmm.
trying to say that he was cheating, she was cheating on Mr. Jones. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That was a speculation out there. Now, it's like I want to believe it, but I don't believe it
I don't.
just
Yeah.
because it's like, dang, like she was getting ready to go to work anyway. You see what I'm saying? Although he
Yes.
wasn't there, I mean, could have been a possibility like, hey, she really was cheating on Brother Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of the way it was situated, because it seemed kind of like almost hitting on the edge because it was like, okay, if Craig wasn't there, then yes, Pass would have been coming to the house.
Hmm. But it
But
would have been
then
an empty house.
Yep, it just would have been her and Pastor.
No, because she went to work already.
She went to, oh, you're so right.
Because
She
Craig's
already went
like,
to work.
neither is Brother Jones. They both at work.
Craig, how you doing? I'm all right. Well, see, but yeah, Sister Jones in?
Nope. Neither's Brother Jones. They both at work.
Well, your ass need to be.
Where you need to be at.
So, Ken, I believe your theory. I don't think they were cheating because why would she go to work if he's coming by?
Right.
I think he was trying to stop by to hit on her.
Right.
And didn't expect Craig to be there. I think I think he didn't know her schedule. Tried to come by and say, "You need a little prayer," like you said, Miss Parker. Going inside, you can just hear him say, "You get a little prayer." You get a little prayer. What that mean? That's just bad, right? So it was clear that he was there for something. And Craig, the way he raised his voice, it was almost like, I know why you're here. Neither is Brother Jones. They both at work.
They
right?
both at work.
Because I'm like, I know why you're here. Why you come and see my mama?
Correct.
You come do a house visit not to see Brother Jones but Miss Jones?
Miss Jones?
Well, I know what you about.
Yeah, exactly.
But some people think that. She might have been having an affair. But again, it doesn't line up because why is she at work?
That is true.
Unless, here we go. Unless she realized Craig was fired and things didn't work out. So she probably just said, you know what? I'm going to call in and go to work. But it can't be. That can't be the... Okay, Ken, maybe the theory might be wrong. Let me tell you. It's coming clear. Why would she tell Craig that the phone people are supposed to come today?
They ain't never show.
No, they were supposed to call.
They were supposed to call.
Here's my thing. Was she expecting Craig to be home to say that? So here's my thing. If she's not expecting Craig to be home, why would she go to work knowing that she has to receive a call? Unless she just goes into work.
Unless she just goes into work. It got to be
the last minute because Craig got fired. So how am I supposed to explain myself if so-and-so comes by? I don't know. I could be wrong. I still don't think it lines up.
Got you. All right. And so let's go back to the villain. Okay. On my end, I really thought the villain of the movie was Big Worm and the Circumstance.
Okay.
So the reason why I say it was Big Worm did put that, Smokey was in that predicament, but Smokey didn't have to sell the weed, but Smokey was trying to be a drug dealer. So he had to go somebody to get the supply from, which is Big Worm. He should have already known Big Worm don't play that. And Big Worm was the villain in some aspect because it's like, you're going to tell me about Craig. I don't care about Craig. I care about my money.
What that got to do with me?
Correct. So he said, man, you be getting high. We was getting messed up. He said, you smoking my bud? He said, you know what? I'll come back here at 10 o'clock, not 10:08, not 10:35. If you ain't got my money or my bud, I'm killing you and him.
I'm going to be here 10 o'clock on the dot, not 10:03, not 10:36. If you ain't got my money or my bud, I'm killing you and him.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like he was a villain in a way to me.
Yeah, I can see.
He put him in that predicament.
Yeah.
Now the circumstance I would say is because Smokey put everybody, like you said earlier, in that predicament as well because it was a circumstance. He had a choice not to sell Big Worm's weed, but he wanted to just to smoke it up.
Yep.
And I felt like if he would have basically, I don't think he was able to control himself. He was an addict. You know what I'm saying?
He was an addict. Yes.
He was an addict. But you put everybody in harm's way because you're, like you said, not being responsible, not being held accountable of your actions. And like you said, throughout the whole movie, he was like, man, that fool ain't gonna do nothing. That fool ain't gonna do nothing. That fool ain't gonna do nothing. And I think the part that hit him the most was when Craig said, you always around here playing. He know where you stay.
That was a serious part.
Yep. He said, he know where you stay. He know where my mama stay. You said he had a gun on him, right? Yeah. Now name one person in the hood that play like that. And he sat there and he thought about it. He was like, yeah, man, I messed up.
Woke it up.
if I got to get dealt with, I'll get dealt with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was almost like a circumstance, like you set yourself up for failure to almost become the villain as well. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit more because I know you probably want to talk about was he really a good friend or not?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't. I mean, I think Smokey liked Craig. I thought that
Hmm.
that's his boy. I think he loved
Right.
Craig. They were friends, and who knows how long they were friends? They might have been friends forever, right?
Forever for a good minute.
But like even the mama knows him as Smokey, right?
Hmm.
Hey, Smokey, and even Mr. Jones, they're really cautious of Smokey because of what he does.
Right.
But I think Smokey was a bad friend. Okay, let me
Okay.
let me let me let me tell you one way. He he goes to Big Worm and like you said, they were both smoking, and he goes back to Craig and says, Why you brought me? Man, you got me in this mess. Like you got me into it. I smoke a little piece of junk." And he's like, "I didn't put that to your mouth. No responsibility. Might as well, Craig. Come on, stimulate your mind, man. Get hot. It's Friday. We're bringing up old stuff. It's just like you just created and smoking." And Craig was so bad. Man, I can't believe you got me in this mess. And it was true. Yes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wait.
It's so funny, right? Right. He's trying to call out to him and he can't. But I understand his frustration. Because it's like, I can't believe you brought me into it. This had nothing to do with me. Absolutely
Correct.
nothing to do with me. You brought me and my family in this
In
situation.
this situation.
And,
In
and
this
he and he said it
situation.
earlier, and you said it, Ken. He know where my mama stay. He know where your mama stay. It's almost like if he doesn't pay the money, people are gonna constantly keep on dying.
Hmm.
You are a bad friend. And guess what? You know what I noticed about that part, Ken? I don't know if you ever noticed this, but when Smokey is peer pressuring Craig to smoke on USA, remember USA the channel?
You said, uh-huh.
They would cut that whole scene got cut out. Did you know that?
No.
They cut that scene out because he's peer pressuring him to do drugs. And so they cut that chunk out and they skip over it. And I
Man, I
noticed it a couple of,
never
I'm like,
noticed
aren't they
that.
skipping the scene? They're skipping it because it's peer pressure. He's pressuring him to do drugs. And think of how many commercials, how
Mm.
many G.I. Joe PSA commercials he saw.
There, on top of that too.
There all like there are hundreds and hundreds of like commercials that say doing drugs is bad, right?
Hmm.
And that scene is why they had to take it out. Ken, think about that. He literally is peer pressuring Craig into doing
Doing
drugs.
drugs, doing drugs. You're
I
so
mean,
right about that. I
what
never thought
what
about that.
boy does Ken? That's like me saying, "Come on, man, Ken, get drunk, man. Your wife ain't gonna know." I mean, are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. That I
Bad
never looked at it
friend,
like
dude.
that. He was a
Bad
bad friend
friend.
because he made choices and
Hmm.
he didn't think it was going to affect everybody around him.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he would be a
Yes.
bad friend. He would be a bad friend because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying?
No, man. But guess what? You know why we weren't able to? I think people were able to see it, but I think we sort of overlooked it because he was funny.
Yes, he was very funny. He was a
It was
funny.
why bringing up old stuff. Ha ha. We burst out laughing without thinking, wait a minute, this dude is gonna get everybody killed. And it's a joke. We just laughing. And
Yeah, that's
Big
that
Worm is like dead serious. I'm about to
big
come and
dead
kill you.
serious. And then the funny part, he was like, "You want to go in the house and get some Kool-Aid?" Yeah, man, I want some Kool-Aid. They go in the house. He open the door. You smoking my stuff?
Hey, you're putting my emotions because God, and he closes on the opens it up, see the bowl and stuff. And you know what's so funny, Ken, about that? You know what's so funny about it? Smokey has to go use the bathroom. We tell him, hey, come
Come
back.
back.
But you ain't gonna try to run and get me in trouble. Right? Anyway, yeah, so I don't think I think I don't think Smokey is the best of friend, but I think Smokey is well aware enough to say, I gotta go to rehab.
At least he said, "I'm
At
going."
least when we find that out in next Friday. right?
Mhm.
And he goes to rehab, man.
Goes to
And
rehab.
I'm like, dang, that's kind of cool. Like he's getting the help he need, man.
All right. So let's talk about this scene. All
Okay.
right. So you know the scene where we see yeah, Dana. Dana getting ready for school. And he was like, well, she comes back home. He's like, we got that rag on for her. Don't get dude messed up. So now
Yes.
this is when you
Yes.
see like the gang environment starts to come inside the movie, right?
Yeah.
So all the situations happen. Big Worm done call them. And next thing you know, drive by, they hide behind a tree or whatever. And next thing you know, they end up running from him. Oh, snap. It's the people that act hard. You know, that song coming,
That
right?
whole thing, yes.
But what rag do you see on the
A crib.
person's hand?
It's a crib.
So the same, I don't know if it was the same rag that she had on her
Probably
head.
wasn't the same rag, but it was probably the same people.
Probably with the same people. Probably
And
with
that's
the
why
same
Craig's like,
people.
all right, don't get homeboy messed up. Like, you know where you are, right?
Correct, correct. And it's so crazy because looking at that now, it was like, man, like they really was dealing with the stuff back then, you know,
Yeah.
Bloods and Crips and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. So I
Yes.
mean,
They
it
weren't
was
naive
crazy.
to it. They weren't
Yeah.
stupid. It's just they make a choice on that block not to be stupid.
Mm, that's the thing.
And so Craig's like, all right, don't be a fool. Like he's like, where'd you get that thing from? Don't even ask. All right, don't get homeboy messed up. Like,
Correct.
all right, then look, you know how it is. Don't be
Out here
naive.
in the
Don't be
street.
stupid.
Man, I just think when you see, like I said, we ain't really dealt with
We
nothing
didn't
like
grow-
that.
No,
No,
not
we
at
ain't never
all.
dealt with nothing like that. You
Not
know
at
what I'm saying?
all.
So it was something totally different. You know, we in South Carolina, you know.
Yeah, we in West Ashley. Ain't nothing hard
Yeah,
happening there.
and then going on like that, you know. So, you know, to see that on TV when you're like 16, 17, like, oh, snap, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, okay, now we know, now that we're older, we know we're
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
you know. When we talk about Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta expound off of this part. What was your one of your funny scenes? Because the whole movie was funny,
So,
right? If the whole movie was a
oh
classic, right?
gosh,
So let's compare scenes. What was your funniest scene and
man.
compare mine?
There was so many,
I
right?
know.
I'm like, and you had to ask, and I have to think now, right? I think the funniest part to me is when Smokey has to use the bathroom, and he goes home, he don't got his key, and his mama isn't there, and he comes back to Craig house, and John and Mr. Jones on with him eating a sandwich. Bang the door. What you want? Dang. I can use the bathroom. He eating his own sandwich. Number one or number two? Number two. If anybody put up some stinking loans, it could be me. He could not use the bathroom.
What you gonna do? Number one, number two.
Number two.
Shit. You ain't gonna drop no stinking loads here. Anybody drop a stinking load, it's gonna be me.
Mr.
So he goes in the bushes.
Mhm.
And the funniest part, he's dropping it. And Ezel walked by. And it's so funny because Ezel's like, what you doing over there? What you doing over there?
Smokey. Smokey. Smokey, what the hell you doing back here? Hey, nothing, man. Hey, I'm fixing something. Hey, just stay over there.
What you doing over there? He's like, Smokey, I'm about the smartest man in the world. For me, it looked like you dropped. And he's like, oh, you got corn. It was so funny. He's like, don't tell nobody, man. Don't tell nobody. He's like, all right, I don't like that. I don't like that. Smokey back here, boy. And guess what? Ken, guess what? Ezel said, I can tell nobody else. You know what? He doesn't tell anybody else.
He doesn't tell anybody else. He doesn't tell anybody
I
else.
thought that was the funniest scene because Ezel's like, what you doing back there? Like, what you doing over there? He's like, yo, I'm not the smartest man in the
So
funnest part.
so my funniest scene in the movie is when it's night. It transitions to nighttime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, because me and my niece, we used to watch this movie a lot. I'm talking about a lot. When I used to go pick her up from elementary school, we would either watch Grease or we would watch him Friday.
Dang.
So if she watches this, she knows what I'm talking about. There's a part in the movie where we would be singing, And he says, "Little child,
Yeah.
wow." Every time that part come on, me and her would sing that, right?
Yeah.
So they go down, and all of a sudden Craig's like, "Who is that?" And Smokey was like, "What
Yeah.
time is it?
Like creepy.
7:47, 7:45?" He was like, "Oh man, that's Janet Jackson."
Janet Jackson. Oh, Janet Jackson. The girl Debbie hooked me up with. Oh. And
Janet Jackson.
Oh,
Oh,
so acting is amazing. It's so realistic.
so he said, man, help me up. She got a friend. All right, I got you. I got you. Next thing he comes up to the thing. He said, "Ooh, what's up?" Not a damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
not a damn thing.
She comes out the car, right? When she comes out the car, all you see is a big old behind come out the
And he
car.
can hear a fart.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, what's going on? He's like,
He's so mad.
he's mad. He's to the roof. He's like, listen. He said, he said, man, um,
We got
I
kicked
would
it or
let you
what?
come with me. You know, let's say, I said I would hang out with you, but I gotta go pick up my mama. Oh, I can go ahead and pick her up, man. But she don't like a lot of people in the car.
Nah, she don't like a lot of people with me when I go get her.
Dang.
Then it cuts back. The cutscene cuts back to Craig and the mama, and it cuts back to him. He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He said, I know you hungry. He said, nah, I had 2 meals when I come. And she pulls off the wig. He's like,
Damn!
He is so upset.
he's so this is when catfishing really
Yes.
was catfishing.
Yes. Yes. He
Then
was so upset.
he was so upset. It was like to the point where he just ran over there to Debbie and was like,
He went to Debbie's house so pissed.
he was so mad he went to Debbie's house. Oh, that girl talk, but she looked like
Janet
Janet
Jackson.
Jackson.
Like more
Looked
like
more
Freddie
like
Jackson.
Freddie Jackson. Like she talk about she big bone. No, 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 no. That girl wider than all outside.
You don't look at her booty before? Boy, he was so mad. He was so mad for that scene. Yes.
That was one of my funniest scenes. That was one of the joints I had like connected with my niece at that time.
Okay,
We
that's
all
cool.
the time. But that part right there, that jump was like the best catfish scene I have ever seen. And
Go
I
ahead. I'm
always
sorry.
remember that.
I just
Go ahead. Go
There
ahead.
was a deleted scene that actually became my new favorite. The
No.
scene that they had when Craig and Mr. Jones, his father, was fussing at him about eating up all the food.
Oh yes, I seen that.
In
I
that
seen
scene
that.
where he says, you eat up everything. You drink all the milk. You don't care if it's 2%, skim milk, buttermilk. I like that.
You drink up all the milk. Don't care what kind of milk it is. You don't care. 2%, 3% buttermilk, patent milk. Hold a cow on a patent milk can. I bet you eat that too.
He said buttermilk. Buttermilk, 2%, skim milk. I mean, and he said, you ate all the pigs. You ate the chitlins. You eat all the pig ears. He said, pigs walking around with no ears, they all on your stomach. Bro, I'm hiding my grapes. I'm telling you, I
Yeah,
don't know why they left that scene out.
I don't know why they let
When
the
he
scene out.
said pigs walking around with no ears, they all on your stomach, boy, that thing is so funny. You don't care what kind of milk it is. 2%, whole milk, buttermilk. You know? And guess what, Craig? It's so realistic because I would eat up everything in the house. We would
Oh
eat up
yeah, me
everything in the
too.
house, and
Me
our
too.
family would be mad. Like, I'll never forget one time Alex got a bowl of cereal and he poured all this milk, and I'm like, are you crazy? Right? And he had cereal, but it was more milk. And I'm like, I understand how Craig Daddy felt. You're eating it all up. And he was basically saying, we want to eat too.
We want
It
to
was
eat
so
too.
realistic. Anyway,
It's like you're not the only one that's in this house. You know what I'm
yes.
saying? Oh, and then the thing about it, he was working, so I could have see if he had put something on it, but he didn't put nothing on it. So I told him he
No,
would put nothing. He been doing nothing. Oh my gosh! All right, so this
that's good.
movie
Yeah.
is just terrible. Now going back over it, Craig and Smokey and them just was doing being terrible. So, all right, so let's talk about this right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, when we were talking about
Mm-hmm.
like the fight scene,
Okay.
um, as I was watching this movie the other day, I had to laugh to myself because would he have really shot Debo?
Okay, Ken.
Because
I
not
want to talk
even
about
not
that.
not even saying laugh, but it's just the fact that he did pull the gun out on Debo.
Yes.
And for him to basically revisit through his mind what
Yes.
would have happened if he had
Yes.
shot Debo. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like you hear your father talking to you, and then you
Mm-hmm.
hear like all the
Mm-hmm.
stuff he's telling you about being a man. And
Yep.
him saying, don't be a scared little boy. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got your dukes up. You win some, you lose some. So what is your thoughts on what if? What
So, so here's my thing. Again, okay, we know that Ice Cube was part of NWA,
mm-hmm.
and I believe if I'm correct, all of them had their parents except for Eazy-E.
I think, yep, I
All of
think
them
so.
had their parents, like they grew up in household with mothers and fathers who raised them and loved them, right? So Craig is trying to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to make a point. Even even in other movies he played in, there is a father. If can we, are we there? All those things, because he is a family man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the beauty of this is that he has a father in the home teaching him and telling him and saying this is what it is to be a man, right? I believe if if that father was not there to help him and to walk him through, like he didn't yell at Craig for having a gun. He was teaching him, instead of yelling at him and scolding him, he's like, you don't have to be this way.
You know how it is around here. Oh, no, son, that's not the way it is. You kids today are nothing but punks. Sissified. So quick to pick up a gun. You're scared to take an ass whipping.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can fight in other ways. You can be a man. This is not manly. This is taking in life is not big, fight. Usually, so so if he did not have a father figure, I believe he
Mm-hmm.
probably would have pulled that trigger. And think
Mm-hmm.
about this. Even if he did not, let's say they covered it up and no one said anything because they didn't like Debo. He has to live with the fact that he killed a man, and the body, and somebody has to get rid of the body. Like
Mm-hmm.
somebody has to call somebody. Like apparently, like Michael Clark Duncan was in the movie, who was, I guess, Debo's brother or
Or
somebody.
something like
He
that.
had a
Yeah.
little part in there. He probably has family.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody killed Debo. Who did it? So Craig probably would have went to jail
Oh
or
yeah.
got, so the point is that if he did it, it would have been real bad for him and his family and that neighborhood.
Right.
That neighborhood would have been known as a bad neighborhood because Craig pulled the trigger. But
Mm-hmm.
instead of pulling the trigger, he got into a fight,
You got into
a
a fight.
fist fight.
And the fist fight was one of the funniest ones too. Cause he he
he
he, he was swinging on Debo, and I was like, okay,
he tried, yeah.
he tried. And the funny thing that I think the funniest part in the movie is that when he slams
I know you're talking
Craig
about.
on top of the car,
Yes.
you see Stanley trying to run over there. He's like, and he just want to go to his car. Like people are holding him, so he want to go to his car. Next thing you know, once he slams him, he chokes Craig, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's
Go to
crazy?
sleep.
Go sleep. Yeah. Then he takes his arm.
And it sounds like a horn.
Then he's not fighting fair.
Like what? Like what is that sound? Ah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. It sounded like a big horn. Like what kind of sound effect is that?
I
I
was
guess
trying
I'm
to
gonna say
figure out.
already hit him.
I'm like, oh my gosh. He hit this man in the chest. Like he was already choked out. His Ice Cube face was like this.
Yes. He
And
choked.
then he goes across and said, I
Like
was like, who hits a man like that? That's unfair. And then you see his mama. Now the gun could have went
not
off.
fighting fair.
He not fighting fair. Wow. And it's like his stomach goes. He's like this. He's like, who
Yes.
wants some? Who else wants some of Depot? You want some?
And
Beat him
everybody's
down, beat you
scared.
down. And then
Get
everybody's
up there.
backing up.
Yep.
Everybody's backing up. It's like crazy. So everybody's really scared of Debo. Now during this fight, this whole fight, Smokey's over there. Shoot him! Shoot
Yeah.
him!
Like shoot him. He's so dumb.
Shoot him!
I wonder if that was improvised.
It had to be because all I know is that part right there got me laughing the whole time. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if that's the case, even if you shoot him, what I mean, you shoot him. I mean, you go. I
Yeah,
mean, people say it's
the point Craig is
self-defense.
like,
Yes,
look, he's pretty beat up, man. Pull the gun. He's not gonna win. And yeah, but lo and behold, Craig got up and tossed a brick at him.
a brick, and then
Ooh, that
after
was
that,
it.
he worked him bad, and it was good. He worked him so bad. It's just like, man, you know what? He worked him, kicked him in his face, and then gave him a good punch. He said, you hear Smokey in the background. That's my dog.
Yep.
That's my
And,
dog.
and how did everybody act? They celebrated.
Happy. People are
Yeah, because
celebrating.
they're tired of Debo, man. A bully picking on everybody. I mean, think about it. You can't sit on the stoop
You
without
can't sell
people
the
coming
stoop.
up and come on, man.
And that,
Really?
that was crazy that you see somebody, you hear him. That's his signature. You hear him as he's using his
Yes.
signature squeak.
Got Red's bike, not even his bike. Wow.
And that right there just blew me because it was like, you still got this man bite. This man came down to you and said, "Hey man, the beach cruiser, the one I've been asking you about, the one I let you borrow 3 weeks ago. Oh, that bike. It's over here, homie. I didn't even know you wanted it." And he went red looked back at his father. It's just like both of ours, but it'll be bound in my house. All right, cool. Next thing you know, that man
Dang.
fly up in the air. He's like,
Wow.
"That's
Wow.
my bike, punk." I said, "Oh, here we go." And then that's another meme that carried the movie too. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
just, man, it's this movie right here has been like funny, like one of the best movies that we saw
Yes.
when we were growing up, and just the
Still
fact
is.
it's still a good movie, regardless of like I said, you can watch the movie over and over and over and
Yes.
over. I think if somebody was to put this movie in a time capsule
Mm-hmm.
and somebody was watch it like 30 years down the line, they'll probably be like, "Oh my gosh, these people were so funny." To sit on the porch and
Mm-hmm.
just be able to see what's going on throughout the day. You know what, Joel, what's your thoughts on the like, sitting on
So
the porch?
look, and think about this. There's no cell phones,
Mm-hmm.
there is no tablets, no laptops, whatever. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
had laptops, computers, whatever, but nothing to where it's like mobile. And look, again, I when I saw Friday, they're sitting on the stoop chilling. They're having fun, hanging out, just being there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really understand that. I grew up in a suburban neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We were inside. No one sat on the stoop, But when I lived in Baltimore for like 7 years, everybody was outside sitting on the stoop. And guess
Mm.
the weird thing about it was no one had a phone. Everybody was outside hanging around, laughing, had the radio going, just enjoying themselves, man. That's all they
Mm.
were doing. And guess what? They had each other. And they
Okay.
just and somebody pull up a grill, everybody just and there were a lot of blocks that had block parties. And they
Mm.
were like, hey, we're having a block party. And they would pass out flyers to each person. Hey, bring out your food. We're all gonna eat everything on the block. And so you had like 5, 6 houses bringing out their grill, grilling up food, burgers, and you had people eating each other's food. It was like a huge block party. And
Mm.
and they would just sit in the stoop, just chilling the whole time. But I never really sat on the stoop. A few times I
Mm.
did, I didn't. I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
I grew up staying inside the whole time, right? Where
Mm.
they went outside and on the stoop and just talked for hours, Ken, and talked and had fun. And that was the day. So
Mm-hmm.
and Ice Cube was making a point. This is what we did all day. What
And
was
you
the
s-
what's
and
the
you
plot?
saw
Just
and
sitting all day.
so you like you say, you sit on the porch all day, you're gonna see something that's gonna happen.
You're gonna see, and guess what? They saw the pastor act crazy, the dude run out, the little person, what's his name?
Mr. Parker.
Mr. Parker run out. People coming and visiting, like what's like Debbie's friend coming and visit,
Hmm.
Red coming by and visit, people just coming by, even Felicia, people they she just coming by and saying hi.
Alicia,
Even what's that fool, the Latino brother,
Hector.
Hector came by, just
Hmm.
that's the way it was.
But this is the thing, though. This is one thing I noticed is that they must be go to Craig House a whole lot because everybody stops there. You notice that?
Yeah, everybody
Everybody
stopped there. Then.
stopped there.
Yeah,
Hector
even
stopped there.
what's her
Red
name, Nia
stopped
Long.
there. Debo stopped there. You see what I'm saying? Nia Long, but I think the only reason why Nia Long because she was looking for Dana at that time.
Yeah,
But it's just the fact that everybody knew where Craig and Smokey was,
yeah,
which ending up where the gangsters knew to shoot up the area.
they knew them. They
So
knew
it's
the
like they knew.
Jones. And you know what? That's the way it was in Baltimore. Like when I moved in, most of the neighborhood knew who we were because it spread that
Mm.
fast. And they would look out for you and protect you.
Right.
So they knew the Jones home. Hey, they're good peoples. We know them. They're loving. They're kind. Mr. Jones a trip. Craig, they all cool. But
Mm.
nobody wants to go to Debo's house, right?
No.
And we know Debbie, and Craig's girlfriend, she a fool, So yeah, it was something I didn't understand then until I
Mm.
went to Baltimore. I'm like, okay, now I get it. And people
Gotcha.
had fun. And I saw the walk coming out. I was walking out. I used to walk Alex around the block.
Hmm.
Everybody outside chilling. What's up, Pastor Joe? What's going on? Just chilling, man.
Mm. And that was a
Anyway,
cool part. That was a cool
yeah,
part
man,
because,
that
like
was
you
good.
said,
Yeah, it was.
you're seeing how the whole neighborhood is, and that's for one. And like you said, you're gonna see some funny stuff that's gonna happen while you
Yes,
sit on the porch during
yes,
that time. So yeah,
yes.
man, I understand that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it. So, oh my gosh, like I said, we're gonna talk about the accolades of F. Gary Gray and Ice Cube. Ice Cube was a member of the NWA, like you said
Yeah,
before.
man.
We gotta give them their flowers because they're the ones
Yeah,
who basically did everything for this movie to be a cult classic. So like I said,
writing,
F. Gary
acting.
Gray.
Yeah,
F. Gary Gray was a director for music videos. All that changed. Next thing you know, he started doing movies. He did Set It Off. He
I
did
didn't
The
know that.
Italian Job. Me either.
Didn't
And
know.
he also did Straight Outta Compton. So I mean,
Didn't know
just
that.
basically to be directing that, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So he has a great resume, a crazy resume when it comes down to their accolades. Like I said, NWA with Ice Cube and F.
Hmm.
Gary Gray with all these movies that people probably didn't know he even did. But man, since we gotta talk about Friday, Joe, what's your final thoughts, man?
Man, I mean, it is a classic. I enjoy it, and it never gets old. It's
Never
it's
gets old.
what? It's how old is it now? Maybe like
I think said it came out in
40 something years old,
1995.
maybe. It came out in 95. I was bad at math.
So it's 2026.
So yeah, so it's like 40, maybe something years old, 40
Mm-hmm.
something, so it's maybe 35,
30,
36 something
30,
something
yeah,
years old.
30, 30, yeah, something like that.
And it's an amazing movie. It's fun, it's exciting. And a little fact, Ken, that Ice Cube didn't want to make any more Fridays. He didn't
Mm.
want to because it ruined the authenticity of what he was trying to present. He was
Mm.
trying to say that this is so no one makes Boys in the Hood 2, Menace to Society 2.
Two. No.
It's a one-time movie or Juice 2 or Juicy or whatever. I don't know. So no, sorry, no
Mhm.
one is making a sequel because those movies were about awareness,
Right.
right? So Friday was about awareness as well. This is what we did in the hood. You don't need a part two,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they made a part two. He didn't really want to do it, but he did it. He didn't want to make a part three. It just started to lose its authenticity of what it
Mm-hmm.
was. It was less realistic. And next Friday, it just became less realistic. Well, Friday was it's just
One point.
authentic. It's just on point. Can't beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Can't beat it.
Cannot beat it, man.
No,
So I'll say this. Like you said, it's still a cult classic to this day. You can't beat it. Like you said, the originals always stack up higher.
they do.
When people want to find out what's going on and want to look up the movies, we got to tell them, hey, you got to look at Friday first. Then you can understand the other Fridays. But this Friday is the main Friday where everything came from. So that's why I like this movie. This movie was a classic. Me and my niece watched it a whole lot, and we just knew certain areas about the movie. So, and like I said, everybody memorizes the movie because of what's going on with the movie. But yeah, man. I'm glad we were able to do Friday and get that one knocked out.
Yeah, that was good.
It was good. It was good. Like I said, thank you so much for watching Real Ones Only. Just make sure that you comment, subscribe, and like to our media pages, which is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok as well. But like I said, the last video we did, which was soul food, got really good traction. Y'all did a lot of interaction with us. We love that. So you can just do a lot of interaction with us on Friday. I know you hope you like it.
All right. Well, look, and look, please subscribe. You can subscribe this Friday, next Friday, or Friday after next. Peace.
Take care.
Take care.